Even behaviors. Why do African American women have higher STD rates, even when behaviors are similar across groups?
High risk exposure to partners, and the stigma or the fear of communicating effectively. We, a lot of times, if we want a certain type of interaction from someone, we're willing to compromise.
Yeah.
Versus having crucial conversations, like I say. For instance, you go to your regular grocery store and you buy some fruit and the fruit is rotten. First thing you're doing is going to the manager, right? You're saying, hey, this fruit is rotten. I'm not going to buy this. This is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But you can meet a guy at the club and you want to ask him his status and you want to make him use a condom.
Yeah. You're right.
The logic of the logic.
Yeah.
Right?
The logic of the logic.
So they're fearful of the rejection of the person they're wanting to interact with because of whatever emotional tie they have or the randomness of it, but they want that interaction more than they want clarity.
Yeah.
Not realizing that those decisions that they make could put them in a permanent position. Because we lost over 600,000 people died this year of AIDS.
Really?
Yeah, not in the United States, but worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
So people are still dying from AIDS, and African American women are disproportionately super high on that list.
Jeez.
Yes. But random STDs, it's just, with things being the way they are as far as behaviors, and sexual fluidity itself, it puts people at risk and without actually putting interventions in place to protect themselves.
Yeah. That's interesting. And which STDs are most commonly missed because they don't cause symptoms, excuse me?
HPV is number one because you don't have symptoms with it.
Yeah.
It's very common to get it.
Which is interesting to hear the vaccine, like now to see the commercials saying until 45, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's very common to get it because you won't have any symptoms with it.
What is HPV?
It's a papillovirus, a human papillovirus that exists. Animals have a version as well.
Really?
Yeah, but it's the least harmful of all of the STDs that you can get.
Okay.
From a perspective of it's fertility and things of that nature.
Okay.
We're seeing spikes now in gonorrhea. There's a strand of gonorrhea that we're having difficulty treating with antibiotics.
What?
Yeah, because whenever something continues to get the continued exposure, the virus and these bacteria will grow and they'll outgrow the medicines that we're using to treat it with. Those are the facts. And with people having it untreated, that's when it grows and becomes far more virulent and stronger. So,
which actually leads me to my next question. How do untreated STDs affect long-term fertility and health?
In African American women, it leads to what's called pelvic inflammatory disease. And that will cause your fallopian tubes to scar, and it can actually lead to infertility.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was at Morris Brown recently, and I went and spoke to them about this very thing. I said, hey, we all go through different phases of human development. I get it. But at the end of the day, you're making decisions that you don't want to be permanently scarring you.
Yeah.
Because the way you think now at 19 is not the way you're going to think at 29.
Right.
So definitely making them aware of not waiting when the STDs pop up, the symptoms that you kind of see with gonorrhea and chlamydia, because those are the two that are just running rampant.
Really?
And the need to get those treated effectively and quickly as soon as possible, because if they go untreated, they become harder to treat. And also understanding your partner's his test status, HIV, all test statuses, and also understanding your partner's preference, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Those are the hard conversations. Everybody thinks it's about gender, but it's really not about gender.
Yeah.
It's about behaviors. So for a young female, it's difficult to ask a man, well, hey, do you also have, sexual interactions with men? But that's really
But it's a question that has to be asked.
It's hugely important to females because the vaginal bed is so vascular and so wide that it makes you very susceptible to disease.
Oh.
So the statistics out now show that if a woman is having unprotected sex with a man who is considered, in colloquial terms, a top, her risk of HIV goes up 1 to 900 encounters. But if she has sex with a man who has sex with men who is considered a bottom or a recipient, that goes to 1 in 72.
That's a big difference.
It's a gigantic difference.
Jeez.
Gigantic difference.
And so how often, realistically, should women be getting tested?
It all depends on,
Your
how sexually
behavior.
active they are,
Yeah.
and how many partners they choose to be with. And once again, it comes down to behaviors.
Yeah.
But, I have a old saying, I didn't trust nobody but my mama, and sometimes she be jiving too. That's an old blues reference. But
I love that so much.
it's the reality.
Yeah.
Is that at the end of the day, the only one person you can be truly accountable for is yourself.
Is yourself. Yeah.
And you've got to take precautions to make sure that you're not putting yourself in harm's way.
And I think another thing just to remind women of is that whatever age range you're in, it doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
you're in your 60s and you're dating and
Yeah.
you're sexually active, if you're 40s, you're in your 30s. And the reality is, too, we have to make sure we're talking to our daughters and our nieces so
Absolutely.
that they understand that don't be afraid of clarity in
Yeah.
relationships. Ask the questions.
Yeah.
We live in such a fluid society now
Yeah.
of labels and whatever. We have to make sure that we're asking questions and getting clear answers because
Yeah.
it's for our health.
If you're going to do adult activities, be the adult
Be the adult.
and ask questions.
High five. Yeah. That was segment 4.